My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Okay, today is March 4th, 2022. This is video 2. The first video is on Pure YTE channel. I spoke about the Sussexes, and that was the last prayer that I did. And now this video is gonna be for APU Team Sussex, and I'm gonna be share some tweets that I came across regarding the war that's going on in Ukraine. All right, so this is my back end for APU Team Sussex. All right, I don't have as many subscribers as the other one, but some of you have subscribed, and there's new subscribers I see, and this is my estimate, $36.61. I mean, I don't have that many views, okay, on my videos. That's typical views, okay, from 300. Oh, this one have 800, a little bit more. All right. Oh, this one have 1,000. Okay, I didn't even know. I very rarely I look in the back end over here, but the average, okay, maybe over time more people are watching some of my old videos, okay, but that's the typical average between 1 and 300 views per videos. So this one was the one that I put out yesterday. That was a rent that I had. Oh, they approved this right away. So I uploaded this yesterday. So let me schedule it for today. Actually, I put it that long because when I uploaded it, they gave me a hard time. So they had it. They wanted to review it first. So I'm putting it scheduled for today. All right, the 4th. And this one, I let it go because they review it. They still then let me make money off of it. So I let it be anyway because there's some information I wanted you guys to see. All right, so this is the thing that I'm going through with YouTube. All right, so now let's go on Twitter. I'll be sharing with you some stuff that's going on over there. I don't think I have anything about the Sussexes. All right, just giving you a warning right now. If you want the Sussexes, go on Pure YTE. Time was not so long ago when Johnson cheered the oligarchs on and positively urged them to use London courts to put money in the pockets of lawyers. Okay, when I read this, one of the things that came to me was during Brexit or whatever, one of the things I've said in maybe 1 or 2 of my videos is that part of the Brexit thing is for the UK to have control of the courts. This just remind me of that, and that's the reason I'm sharing this with you. Now we are dealing with regular good journalists in the UK, not the tabloid, the making spend on stuff. Okay, London mayor urges oligarch to sue and divorce in UK. Robert Hudson. Okay, that was in 2012. Okay, London Mayor Boris Johnson urged Russian oligarchs to sue each other in their city's court in contradiction of the government's policy of discouraging libel tourism. Wow. So he was already and planned to be where we are now. Okay, quote, if one oligarch feels defamed by another oligarch, it is London's lawyer who applied the necessary bomb to the ego, end quote, Johnson told the Confederation of British Industries annual conference in London today. Quote, I have no shame in saying to the injured spouses of the world's billionaires, if you want to take him to the cleaners, take him to the cleaners in London, because London cleaners will grateful for your business, end quote. Wow, little did I didn't even know this existed. So that was my main point with the court system of Brexit. So they had this and planned since 2012. I wasn't even aware of that. Okay, Bloomberg, London mayor urged oligarch to sue and divorce in UK. All right, London mayor's Boris Johnson urged. I mean, if he has been in, how do they vote for mayor? Is it like a, there's a vote, people go out to vote and stuff like that? But this guy have been showing you guys who he is, but yet you're giving him more power. So everything that's going on right now, I guess the UK deserves it. My goodness. London Mayor Boris Johnson urged Russia's oligarchs to sue each other in the city's court in contradiction of the government's policy. He was already there to change stuff. Okay, this was the time when Meldeson, despite being out of power, was still being regularly feted on Deripaska's huge yacht. The thought of acquiring a few more precious original artwork would have had Mendelssohn's mushy peas turning into guacamole before his bulging eyes. Goodness, that cheap quote was priceless. Alright, so the main thing was this, okay? The reason I'm sharing this is, how they want to have control of the courts. Alright, I'm wondering if those judges, once they retired, the ones that we have now, once they retired and they're putting other type of judges over there, the UK is screwed. Because so far, the judges that are there, with the exception of the Johnny Depp thing case here, I think Johnny Depp was robbed of his thing, because he should have won his case. But besides that, I think they've been going, how do you say that? They've been following the rule of law. So once they retired and no longer there, what's gonna happen? All right, next tweet. Okay, this is Christopher Bazir. All right, wow, RT America is shutting down. I didn't know what RT was. I was starting reading some of the tweets here, and someone mentioned what's RT here. For me, the first thing that came to mind was retweet. Okay, but someone says is Russia Today America. That's what this artist stands, Russia Today. All right, this is good. So what Bazir is saying, okay, I guess since the sanction, there have been less nonsense on Twitter. Okay, this is his job. He's been digging dirt on fake accounts and all of this. So I guess he's paying attention to that. Okay, this is good. I'm shocked they're still operating here. Okay, for those that may not know, this means, okay, I guess this is the one that I saw that tells me what RT means. Okay, for those that may not know, this means Russia Today. They changed their name to RT in 2009. Absolutely helped pull the wool over people's eyes. Okay, thank you. As a non-American, okay, even me, I'm here. I didn't even know. Okay, as a non-American, I thought he meant retweet. That's what I thought too, America. I was wondering why he was asking RT America. What happened? Okay, should I feel proud that I had never heard RT until this week? Okay, good. Next Fox News on 01. Okay, people's this. Why were their bots so obsessed with the Cambridges? Okay, I just do not get it. As a Russian hobby, money. Yeah, that's all. Okay, there's this. Why am I so confused? Okay, you sound surprised. Tell me, or are you more surprised about this than the fact that a Russian state-sponsored propaganda channel was even allowed in the first place? I'm not now that I remember. Okay, I'm not now that I remember capitalism exists. Okay, they might as well. Fox is taking over that lane. This was a joint effort. A joint effort. Okay, the nonsense, the tabloid and the UK have worked so well, so they wanted to expand it. Okay, they wanted to expand it, and it had worked. All right, so this one is a thread by Palmer Report, and I thought that was very interesting, so this is what I'm sharing with you. Okay, a lot of people are asking why Europe doesn't just go blow up that Russian convoy in Ukraine before it can do any more damage in Ukraine. The short answer is escalation. And this is why I was saying in one of my videos, it could be the one that I need to go over. YouTube doesn't want me to make money, but I spent at least an hour and a half in it. I think it was since February, so I need to go back to it. That's on Pure, is it Pure YTE channel? I think it is. All right, the reason at the beginning, before things are where it is now, you know, pretty much turning Ukraine into rubble, he was trying to trigger the East, okay, Europe, to do something, but they didn't budge, okay, because he wants war. But the European Union did not buy into his nonsense. So he had no choice, because he wanted a reason to say, this is why I'm doing this. But Europe, America did not join him or fight with them on the battlefield to give Russia a reason for what he's doing now. So this is why right now, this is all his war. It's not the Russian war. It's Putin war. Okay? This is Putin war. I hope I make sense, because when I saw this, and I felt like I was right of what I said at the beginning before all of this mess started. Okay, a lot of people are asking why Europe doesn't just go blow up that Russian convoy in Ukraine before it can do any damage in Ukraine. The short answer is escalation. Okay, much of European Union has sent advanced weaponry and even fighter jet to Ukraine, and it's so easily rationalized as a defensive border move. Putin hasn't even bothered to try to retaliate. Even his addled brain knows he has a bigger problem right now. Yep. And then the thing is that he has nobody to blame. He has nobody to blame for the amount of damages that he's doing. And I think what they're doing with the sanctions that they're doing, United States and Europe and all of that, is that once this thing is done, all the money they're gonna seize from those oligarchs and stuff like that is gonna go to Ukraine to help rebuild. Okay, but let's say EU nation go over and bomb the Russian convoy themselves. Putin will view EU nation killing Russian troops on a third-party soil as an act of war. You see, that's exactly that. Okay, and then he might try to retaliate against them. Right? That's the thing here. I mean, people with good mind already know history. All right? Putin is looking for reason for his nonsense, but Europe and America is not giving him a reason for that. Okay? If Putin decided to try to bomb EU nation, he obviously be giving up any hope of winning or even surviving. I mean, he already know he has a lost cause right now. At some point, I could see the same thing that happened with the Hitler era, where some of the handlers are gonna look for safety. Okay, but if he decided to go out with a bang, he could discriminately kill tons of people on his way down, including Ukraine. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. And some of other tweets, I think I mentioned something like that. He's gonna cause as much damage as possible, and then he's gonna drink his Kool-Aid and go to sleep forever. All right, so the smart move may be to simply arm Ukraine to the hilt and try to defeat the Russian army in Ukraine, as opposed to risking spreading the conflict to a dozen nations, where the result will be a lot more messy overall. Okay, and I think right now they speed up the process for Ukraine to be part of the EU. I mean, right now, I fell asleep watching that video again yesterday, because yesterday was my off day, about the conflict, different languages, things that used to make the Soviet Union and all of that. I fell asleep again. I need to watch it. But some part that I remember is that Ukraine was pretty much like another European country. They were, I think, in terms of high-speed internet, they were on top of that. They really were trying. So right now, the war that they're fighting here to be part of the EU, they fought for that. They fought for that. Okay, and I think they're speeding the process for it. I'm not sure if they end it now, or it's just the next step that needs to be taken. It's just moving along pretty well for them right now. Okay, is this fair to Ukraine to force all the fighting to remain on its soil? Absolutely not. It is. Okay, it is still the smartest play in terms of taking down Putin without requiring a continent-wide war, maybe. And then this is the thing here. What that trip Putin took to go to China was some sort of alliances that we already know where each country is gonna be teamed up with. But China is very smart right now. China is playing in the middle right now, because China has major business interests with Europe. I don't know what stuff that they're selling. China is selling with Europe, but they wanna play a very smart way, because if other countries get involved to give Putin a reason, and then China come and start fighting with Europe, at the end of the war, anything that starts, there's usually an end. They're not going to be doing business with China. Okay, so China is looking more into business interests. All right, so they're playing like a very fine line. Okay, Is this fair to Ukraine to force all the fighting to remain on its soil? Absolutely not. It is still the smartest play in terms of taking down Putin without requiring a continent-wide war, maybe. All right. These are the kind of moral and strategic questions that world leaders are surely discussing with each other. Certainly, lying in bed at night wondering about. The problem is there is no right answer in war, just best guesses and least bad options. But Palmer, there's a quote here, but Palmer, you said we can't cower to Putin, end quote. You're right, and we can't, but cowering is not the same thing as strategically trying to figure out how to win without uncontrollable escalation. Okay, if a rabid wild animal gets into your house, you have to figure out how to take down that animal in a way that doesn't escalate things in the process and destroy the entire house. Even rabid animals have their own weird logic in terms of what will or won't cause them to escalate. Okay, the most aggressive move you can make against an enemy is often not the smartest or most successful move you can make. It's all about what's most likely to actually work, not about what's the biggest punch you can throw. A lot of punches don't land. That's why when you look at boxers, you see some others are using their full energy at the beginning, but the other one, is dodging and all of that. And then who usually wins? Not the one who throw the most punches that doesn't even land, okay, is the one who can sustain how do you call this, when you have more energy, adrenaline, not that. There's the term where energy, I forgot the term. When you run out of breath, that thing. I can't think of the word, but that's usually the one who could outlast the other person and and throw one good punch and knock him down. Okay, if the Russian army comes closer to taking Kyiv, does Europe have to go over and bomb the Russian army at that point? Maybe, but that could go wrong in so many ways, including for Ukraine. It may be better to first see if Ukraine can repel them with EU supply weapons. Okay. Wow, that was a long thread. One of the most dangerous logical fallacies is, quote, if we're going to have to do X later, let's just do it now. Okay, that was a quote. It always presumes a 100% chance that you'll have to do X later, but that's usually not the case if a large number of variables are still playing out. I understand him. If I had the right answer on this, I'll be giving them to you instead of pontificating. If I were a world leader, any world leader, I will not be sleeping well right now. That's for sure. Yeah, the main thing is trying not to spread that war to the next country, because as you can see, you're dealing with a madman. Okay, I think maybe right now, maybe they only Russia probably take only one city, but majority of the time, most of the cities that they're trying to get, the Ukrainian fought back. They didn't capture it, so let this gun out. And I think, from my understanding, when they catch prisoner of war from the Ukrainian side, what they do, they call their parents to come and get their kids, because that should give them, the Russian people, a better understanding. This is not what we want. All right, they're not just killing their kids out of vain, out of spite. They know who is behind all of this. It's just Russia trying to, I don't know, my goodness, people don't last forever. Alright, let me continue with his thread, but let's keep in mind that any question that starts with quote, why don't you just, end quote, is prone to logical fallacy. Such questions usually present a simplistic, magical solution that somehow comes with no consequences, which is why most pundits love, quote, why don't you just question. Okay, my best guess is that if the EU, subsidized by the US, keep flooding Ukraine with the proper military equipment, the Ukrainian will be able to use it to repel the Russian army. Okay, this is the thing Russia was trying to do. Russia did his homework very well. We have to give him credit. Okay, the two power house, which is US and UK, to eliminate them out of the war, to put his crony on and power, to turn a blind eye. This is what Trump was trying to do, okay? To turn a blind eye. But the people of America prevail with going out to vote. And you see all the roadblocks that they were doing and all of that. We're still at that string because the GOP are trying to put roadblocks. Okay, so and this is why Trump was fighting so hard to remain in power, because he knew that was gonna happen. They all knew. All his people knew. Putin peoples knew this what was gonna happen. But 2020 election prevailed due to not only just people went out to vote, but I have to give credit to some of the GOP who did the right thing, who didn't want to go down the rabbit hole, because eventually nonsense that Trump was trying to do will eventually come out, and which is what's happening right now in the news, okay, as of March 4th, 2020. And I think the thing that was doing to see if Trump what's the term? Oh my God, my vocabulary is horrible today. The investigation was involved in the January 6th or something like that. So they find that, yeah, they filed something in court. Okay, the January 6th committee. So eventually all of this would have come out. So many of the GOP did not want to go down the rabbit hole with them. Then we have to hope military failure and economic collapse from Putin ouster from within. And I'm hearing that some of the oligarchs are killing themselves. All right, let's see here. How do you call it? Oligarch. Oligarch. Dying. Let's see. Oh, is it dying or death? Let's see. Death. All right. Some of them, they find 79 Ukrainian oligarchs' death investigated by Surrey police. Okay, this one is new. All right, there's this one here. Chris Evans said, what is going on with all these oligarchs' death? Okay, there's one here 17 hours ago. Okay, Ukrainian oligarchs' death investigated by Surrey police. All right, I'm not gonna go to this article. Okay, 9 hours ago, breaking report: Ukrainian oligarch Mikhail Watford found dead in UK mansion. See, this is the thing here. He made a deal with the devil. Eventually, he's gonna come and collect. All right, just live a simple life, whatever you could afford. Okay, Ukrainian oligarch Mikhail Watford found dead in UK mansion. Authorities called the death unexplained. All right. Okay, if you spent the 4th of July in Russia sucking up to the oligarch and continue to try to reinstall Putin's stooge as president, you might want to sit this one out. These are the Americans who went to the UK. To Russia during the 4th of July. What year was that? Was it 2017 or 2018? Something like that. All right, so I'll come back to this, but let me go back to that thread. Okay, Palmer report. So the other thing is that, yeah, they're dying out. Okay, I've said this before many times. When they like to inflict pain onto people, but when push comes to shove, when it's their turn, who the thing is reversed, they can handle it. All right, go back to some of my old video on Pure YTE. I've said this. Okay, there was a business company that I use as one of those. I can't think of it right now. As an example of when things get tough, they just kill themselves. Okay, then we have to hope military failure and economic collapse from Putin's ouster from within. All right, so this is why I went and looked for oligarch's death. All right, I will also guess that if I'm wrong about this and Russia starts to gain the upper hand in Kyiv, then the West will start taking bigger risks to make sure Russia loses in Ukraine. That's right. Okay, but with this many variables shifting this quickly, any wise person will want to be able to constantly revise their position as new information arrives. That's right. Right, and at the beginning, before things started, that was one of the things that I said. I was like, he's not gonna attack Ukraine. He's provoking for people to start something so he could do his damage. When he realized the European Union are not taking to his bait, he went on anyway. He claimed it was for a humanitarian reason when Ukrainians doesn't even want to deal with them. Okay, the main thing is that they don't want Ukraine to be part of EU. Okay, they want Ukraine to be part of Russia. All right, and they're fighting for that. Okay, that's surely what the smarter world leader are doing with regard to Russia and Ukraine on an hourly basis. Also, keep in mind that we probably don't know half of what the US and EU are doing for or with in Ukraine right now. One way to avoid the risk of escalation is to make sure your enemy doesn't know what all you're doing. That is true. Can EU nation really afford to give away this much military equipment? Fighter jets aren't cheap for small nation. Is the US secretly reimburse the EU nation? Again, we probably don't know the half of what is all going on. And let's think about it too. They're probably gonna build once everything is said and done, all the stuff Russia is destroying right now, those things that they're seizing is gonna come out of that. Okay, and probably at the end of the war, they probably still gonna be paying for it, because when you look at Ukraine, it's full of rubble. They even bombed schools and stuff like that. I don't know if there were any kids in there, but they bombed schools. And for all the intel that the US has intercepted and instantly made public in order to flush Putin, there's surely plenty of other intel the US has intercepted and secretly provided to Ukraine so it could use it to win battles. That is true. Okay, by the way, oh my God, this was a long thread. I didn't know it was that long. Okay, by the way, it's not just about nuclear war. That's many steps up to escalation chain from where we are. If the EU bombed the Russian convoy, Putin's next escalation step could be to send jet to bomb the closest EU city and so on. Okay, that is true. Okay, a good rule of thumb is to leave the possibility of nuclear war out of the entirely. It's unlikely to happen, but if it does, we're all dead anyway, so it won't matter. Focus on the realistic escalation scenario, which tend to be incremental. For instance, there are claims out there that Putin is privately talking about invading Finland and Sweden. Can you imagine that? Next, that would be a dumb idea. I mean, this guy is not thinking logically. Well, let's not leave that out of the question. You never know. You just never know. That would be a dumb idea and he will fail badly, but that would be the kind of attempt escalation you might accept from him. That's right, not quote, oh, let's just nuke everyone, end quote. Putin is coming closer to a cartoon villain, but this is still real life, not the movie. In the movies, the thing that happened next is always whatever will be most dramatic. In real life, it's whatever the most logical result will be, whether it's dramatic or not. Also, if Putin is crazy enough to think he's winning or that he can win this, why will he instead decide to die by starting a nuclear war? Will it be, okay, won't he want to stay alive and enjoy his upcoming victory? That is true. That is true. I'm surprised he didn't put this in like a article. So I thought that was a very good thread. I didn't read all of this when I first came about it. I only read this. And then whatever I just read now is brand new to me. Let me read some of the comments under it. Okay, yes, but the weapons and people could be abandoned with Ukraine markings and fight alongside them. That escalation will come regardless. At least by acting fast, there is a way to stop this thing. I mean, we from the outside, we may think this is the best thing, but the people out there, okay. I also heard that although Russia isn't moving on the ground, that convoy is protecting in the air by Russia, so not possible for aircraft to get close enough for a shot. Okay, we don't know. What is this here? Okay, why doesn't Russia just get a bunch of solar panel and crypto? Okay, I don't know. Okay, fine, give Ukraine enough money to hire former private US military to do it. They don't need to volunteer from around the world or heading to Ukraine to join the fight. The world is not going to let him win. Yeah, and I think at the end of once this war is done, depending on how it goes, and I think this is where they're gonna, how do you call this? They strip them. They're gonna make them remove that nuclear power that he has to stop it. All right, because if you have it and then you're not using it properly, you wanna be a villain all the time. So they're gonna probably try to, how do you call this, when they're taking your weapon away? So that probably one of the things they're probably gonna take away from him. This is my humble opinion. All right, let's go to the next tweet. There's more comment, but I just wanted to share the thread. Next tweet. Okay, there's this here. Russian billionaire Alisher Usmanov, okay, sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, 512-foot yacht has been seized by German authorities in the northern city of Hamburg. Wow. This is the thing here. Let me just keep my opinion to myself. My goodness. The wealth is going to just his cronies, just his people. And Russia is in despair. So, the part of the video that I was watching yesterday, it's very telling when people are not educated some of the things that they, they're thinking of, and then that's the advantage Russia, Putin has over Russia. He controls the message, and many of those Russians who goes to war, they don't know why they're going there until they're freaking in the middle of a battle. And then some of the things that I was hearing from that video, and then I fell asleep, is that, they rather stay in that poverty state instead of trying to move forward, which is what Ukraine wants. Okay, Ukrainian are very educated, thinking forward kind of thing. All right, when you were looking, not now anymore, after Putin turning the cities into rubble, is that their places were almost like another European country. And one of the things that they were saying, and I saw in one of those videos, is that someone was saying a couple of days ago, you would have think you were somewhere in California at coffee shop, just chilling and all of that. Now they don't want the Ukrainian to move forward. Putin doesn't want Ukraine to move forward, but Ukraine wants to move forward. Okay, more of that. There's this. If you're living in Hamburg, does that make you a hamburger? Serious question. Twitter always have to throw some shade on serious thing. There's 129 comment under it. I'm not going into it. There's 58 retweet, 1,350 likes. Okay, fantastic. British government should be seizing oligarch asset in UK tomorrow. Then I look forward to it. Okay, if it can be done in Germany, it can be done in the UK. And this is why they did the Brexit, all right, to turn a blind eye. And this is why they wanted Trump to win, to turn a blind eye. Okay, use it to house Ukrainian refugees. That probably will be good. Okay, next. Okay, what's the point? There is no need. He needs. Okay, he didn't start the war. He didn't start the war. For all you know, he knows effing nothing. Okay, this will not stop anything. Oh, I see what he's saying. The person that they seized the boat to, he didn't start the war. But the thing is that the money that he's getting was through the connection of Putin. That's the thing here. In my humble opinion, that's what I got from it. This will not stop anything. What happens when the war stops? Will all the assets seized be returned with interest pays? Some for Chelsea owners. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to that comment. Let me read some of that before I go to it. But the yacht is not registered in Russia. Impulsive decision if true. Okay, if billionaires are not safe anywhere anymore, who is? Okay, brilliant. This should not, I mean, they will have to know. They don't just go around and see stuff. They will have to know certain things about them for them to do it. Let's see what some people say in that comment. Okay, so he continued his thing. Let me make this clear. I'm not supporting of Russia or Ukraine. I believe that all this war will end with dialogue. So why didn't they I don't think once, depend on how this war ends, I think he probably gonna kill himself. Okay, he probably gonna kill himself because he doesn't want to go on trial, because they already filing papers for war crimes. So I don't think he will want to stay on that. If he doesn't remain on power, he's not gonna follow anybody else's rule. So why then they are with dialogue? They did. This guy, oh my God. Okay, so let me just read. Let me start all over. Let me make this clear. I'm not in support of Russia or Ukraine. I believe that all this war will end with dialogue. So why didn't they all with dialogue first? It's not good for Russia to attack, and it's not good to ask civilians to fight a war that is taking them hostage. Okay, as if Russia is willing to communicate. Okay, that's a different language. He knew about the war. Also recently got a Portuguese passport. He is Putin's most trusted oligarch. That's what I was saying. They will not seize his thing without knowing certain things, certain connection. All right, so they have to know something to do that. My guess is to pressure Russia's citizen to take action to remove Putin from office. Okay, he's ally of Putin. That's enough, in my humble opinion. Okay, you don't understand. Watch the documentary Putin's a Russian spy story, and you will. Okay, you can watch it on BBC. Select to name an option. Let me bookmark this. I'm not gonna play it here. Okay, well, he can tell his complaint to Putin. Neither did the people in Ukraine start this war. That's right. That's another point too. Okay, let's look at this scenario. If America decided to go with another country like it did in the past, does it mean American billionaire are responsible for the war and that the same will be applied? Please explain. All right, he's bringing some different language. I suppose the idea is to put pressure on those close to Putin so they influence him to stop the war on Ukraine. There is a difference between confiscation and freezing. The yacht is not expropriated. Okay, the point is to force authorities to stop the war through the impact of wealthy citizens. The government structure is built of their investment as well. So if they are silent, we'll make them talk. Okay, is it working so far? No ban sanction on confiscated asset can stop this war or any other. History has shown that there was a video that Rachel Maddow did, and how Putin was able to be where he's at right now. He started by those mafias and this kind of thing. Make a deal with these people the same way, similar to what Trump did when he became in power. He didn't make deal with them, okay, with the Bloods, the Crip, and all of that. He wound them up and get rid of them because that would have been his opposition. Okay, that would have been Trump opposition. Those groups that you hear, gangs and stuff like that. He knew about them while he was in power. He tried to. I think he did. He got rid of them. Okay, and the El Chapo and all of that, he got rid of them because that would have been his opposition. That's the same thing Putin did, but instead of putting them in jail, he made a deal with them. Okay, he made a deal with these type of people, and then give them incentive and all of that, and that's how you be able to go. I think it's on Rachel Maddow. It was a very long video. I had cable at that time. It'd been what, maybe 8 years, between 6 and 8 years, and I don't have cable, so you could. That's how far back Rachel Maddow went with that video. All right, so let me move on to the next tweet. Okay, I stopped reading some of the comment. Let me go to the next tweet. Okay, there's this here. Talk to the Japanese, no, not Japanese, Korean. Talk to Korea President Moon Jae-in, okay, inform about counteraction to Russia, about the crimes of the aggressor. Thank Korea for supporting Ukraine and imposing sanctions. We will continue to work together, building an anti-war coalition around the world. And this is what happened here. Okay, that's Zelensky. I started following him once I saw this. This is the thing here that people are trying not to build a world war. So if this were to become a world war, we already know which country is gonna fight whom. Okay, we already know North Korea and South Korea will be in some issues. China with Taiwan and probably Hong Kong. I'm confusing with Hong Kong or something like that. I think it's Taiwan. Okay, these two will be together. And then with the Ukraine thing, it will be all the other European countries with America's help to get this to end Russia. Okay, so this is the thing people are trying, from Palmer report, are trying to prevent, or we're making light of, make people understand that it's not that simple. People don't want a world war, but many of these people, those bad guys, you know, who want more power, more land, they itching for a world war for some reason. I don't know why. My goodness. Help India and African student, don't do discrimination against them. I was hearing something like this where even in the midst of war, okay, there was some discrimination within that. You know, they won't let other people until the whites can get through. And I did a renting video about how Ukraine should, and Europe in general, should thank minorities. To thank America for the result of 2020 election. If it wasn't for minorities and different groups in America, they will not have American support. So they should thank America minorities. When they see black kids being shot at in the street, they should say something. You should go listen to that video. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay, and Lviv, okay, I'm not pronouncing right. A foreigner then let people sit on a train. He was threatening them with a knife. What? With a knife? Where do you see discrimination against them? Where is that? Okay, I don't know. But I've heard that from somebody. Let's see here, where against them. I've seen many news about Indian and African students filling up the trains, leaving mothers and kids behind. Why then they leave earlier? Okay, so I don't know. But I've heard something like this before. Or, you know, talking to somebody. Okay, not on social media, through the phone. Okay, I can't see faces and skin color. I guess he using the knife to create the order, so people don't push. All right, people's trying to get away. So I don't know. Okay, and an Indian student side. What we heard here is that Ukrainian universities threaten them to expel them if they leave Ukraine. What? For Indians, it is their family life along earning spending for their courses. What? Okay, I've heard something like this, but I don't know if it's true. Wow. Okay, do not trust uncertain sources and do not read fake news. People are really dying there. This is the main concern you should have. Okay, again, I'm just reading this. I've heard it from somebody I was talking to. I don't know if it's true. Okay, women and children first. They should have left when they were told by their respective countries. That's true. That's true. Sometimes you need to be brave and turn and fight for what brought you to Ukraine in the first place. But I understand this person here, where sometimes those people, those foreigners who go out on board to learn, their parents are going to some hardship. They go into some hardship. They spend a lot of money to put there. So it's like an investment for them. So when they go back, they could get a better job to help the rest of the family. So it's an investment. So I don't know. I can't say anything about that, because there was a YouTube video I was watching where was it the Indian people were looking to have boys only. Okay, the funny thing is that that village they want only boys, and then they keep on having girls, and at one point they have mostly girls in the village, and many of the men's not mostly girls, the men were looking for wives. They didn't have any because there was not enough girls. It's like the logic of things. These people only want boys, but yet in order to create, you have to have girls. I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to get on that before I start shifting. All right, next tweet. Once I hit an hour, I'm gonna stop because I still have a lot of more tweets to share. There's this here. CBS News producer Redman Justin captured the biggest blast we ever seen, all right, in the sky over Kiev, just as Charlie CBS was coming off the air tonight on Ukraine. Okay, 54 seconds. Let me see.
Here in Ukraine. Elaine?
Wow. You think I'll be standing here? I'll be out of there. What the hell was that? Duh! You're in a freaking war zone. What the hell was that?
I don't know. It's almost like lightning.
I didn't hear the video when I saw it. It's almost like you're in a freaking... Now you know. I'm sorry, this is not funny. You in a freaking war zone. What did you expect? What did you expect? In the middle of the night, you see lightning. What do you expect?
It was close.
There's no thunder.
See the flash.
My goodness. But anyway, hope he returned home safe because, you know, his family would want him to return safe. Oh, I did respond. Okay, so they are in a weapons... so they are in a war zone doing a broadcast and sees flash, and the reporter is wondering what was that. Well, what do you think? That's me putting like alien. Okay, when one sees the flash, start counting seconds, light, instantaneous, sound waves, travel. Okay, start doing the science numbers here. Okay, thermobaric weapon, first designed by the US or fuel air. Okay, I don't even want to read this. Alright, but the main thing was this. Let's go to the next tweet. It's trying to say logic things on Twitter for people to understand. Okay, Russian soldiers using medical machines for weapon transportation. Okay, a minute and 15 seconds. I don't understand him, but
Дивіться, ось я вам показую дежурний врач.
Чуєш?
Wow.
Дежурний фельдшер.
I don't know.
Тут у нас наші.
Let me stop.
І все остальне.
Come on. I don't know if any cable television is showing all of this, but this is what's showing on Twitter. Okay, they're using medical trucks or whatever, medical machines, and to transport the weapon. Okay, let's continue.
З пов'язками лікарів, фельдшерів, санітарів. Але загляньте, будь ласка, в машину, що вони возять у цих санітарних. Вони покидають своїх ранених, убитих, але наповнюють ці машини боєприпасами.
My goodness.
Все.
So what Ukraine should do is use it now. Is to use this on their side. Use it for their advantage.
Боєприпаси.
Зараз я вам покажу, з чим вони хочуть нас накормити. Оце вони їдять, дивіться. Це вони їдять солодощі,
I don't
але
understand.
нас хочуть накормити
Wow. Wow.
цими всіми снарядами.
Wow, wow, wow.
Це підло.
Це називається фугасно-осколочний, уменьшений.
Сняв там з возу того.
Да. Чуєш, десь колону наша.
Okay, so I don't know if YouTube is gonna allow this video to play. If they do, I'm just gonna cut it. Okay, there's this. Russian put a Z or a V as identification markers for their equipment. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. A V or a Z to let their people know what this thing is all about. Okay, I don't know. I didn't understand what they were saying. All right, next tweet. I thought that was very interesting. There's this here. This picture speaks a lot. All right, there's the Ukraine president sitting around eating with his troop, and then there's Putin, a long table. I mean, right now he can trust anybody. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. There's a target on him, so everybody have to be. They probably pat them down before they walk in the room. My goodness, how could you hear this? But that's a freaking long table. Okay, that picture shows that whatever the MSM wants to plant something in your head, they successfully do. Don't forget COVID and how your government were fining you for going out while they were having all their parties. Find the truth. Do not follow the narrative. Okay, what is this here? The 69-year-old president is notoriously paranoid about COVID-19 and has largely remained in an isolated cocoon throughout the pandemic, taking measures far beyond his global counterparts. The Kremlin continued to require those meeting with Putin to quarantine for 2 weeks, despite claiming that the Russian leader has received his vaccination and booster shot. The requirement can be disruptive. Before the opening of a major art center in Moscow, the director and main financier were said to have quarantined for 2 weeks in order to give Putin a short tour of the building. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's true. So I won't blame him. I won't blame him. Okay, President of Ukraine, no bond spur. And the thing is that the pandemic is still over. They should be giving a lot of those people masks. I'm wondering how many people is gonna catch that pandemic due to that influx of moving of immigrants. They should have masks available for these people. That is true. Okay, look at this one. Strong, love this girl. I think I retweeted out. My goodness. I don't know what she's saying.
What to do? When what to do? When what to do? Yeah, man, what to do? Yeah.
Wow.
When what to do? When what?
I think I retweeted it out and I put the fearless, where is it? I don't see it, but anyway, so that's what's going on here. Okay. Wow. Brutality, bravery. My goodness. Anyway, let's move on. Next tweet. Okay, I'm almost an hour. I am almost an hour. I'm not gonna go to all of the comments. There's this here. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine portrayed invading Russia troops as directionless, even as Russia captured the city of Kherson. Quote, "They don't know why they are here," he said of Russian soldiers. Okay, I'm gonna let it play. And I'm gonna stop in between. Okay, I don't know. Oh, the thing is at the bottom. Translation.
Ми народ, який за тиждень зламав плани ворога. Плани, які будувалися роками, підло, прораховано, з ненавистю до нашої країни, до наших людей, до будь-яких людей, які мають дві речі – свободу і серце. Але ми їх зупинили і б'ємо. Наші військові, наші прикордонники, наша тероборона, навіть прості
Actually, some of the things that he's saying here, there was a thread that I read with someone who's, I think, Ukraine and living, is it Australia or something like that? Who's saying that this fight is going to be, the difference between the Russian and Ukraine is that Ukrainian are fighting with heart and soul because they're tired of this nonsense that Russia has been putting them. Unlike Russia, the Russian soldiers, they don't know the pain and suffering that Ukraine have been going through for so long. So this is what got me as I was reading some of the translation.
Фермери беруть в полон російських військових щоденно. І вони всі говорять тільки одне. Вони не знають, для чого вони тут. Незважаючи на те, що їх у десятки разів більше.
There was at the beginning of this thing, okay? Either on my IG and one of my videos, I said, let's pray for the soldiers, Russian soldiers, because I really don't think they know why they are there. And this is my answer. I was right again. I don't know if this video is out. It could be one of the videos that I'm preventing, YouTube is preventing me from making money. So I need to review it and cut it and find out, because I hate, once I finish edit those videos, I don't like to go back and listen to them. So I need to revisit that video and change some stuff, or just put it live and don't make any money on it. All right, let's continue.
Моральний стан ворога постійно погіршується. Це не воїни над державою. Це розгублені діти, яких
These are confused children who have been used. And this is why when they capture them, they call their parents to come and get them. Wow.
використали. Заберіть їх додому.
Wow. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. Okay, for that, let's see here. I can't read that. Okay, forcibly acquiring land might be easy and ruling it will be very difficult. All right, there's this here. Okay, I feel for those young boys. Yeah. Okay, my husband went to Vietnam as a Marine at the age of 17. It still bothers him. He's 72. Wow. This is, what is it? Muhammad Ali went to prison because he thought many of these wars were unfair. What was this other lady? The one who married something, she's an actress. The one she used to marry with, oh my God, with the person, Ted Turner. What's her name? Let's look it up. Now my mind is into it. I want to get the name right. Ted Turner. Okay. All right. That's him. There she is right here. Her. I forgot her name. Tanner reveal he has Lewy body dementia. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. But I still can't think of her name right now, even though I see the picture. What's her name? Spouse Jane Fonda. That's it, Jane Fonda. All right, where they were protesting against the war and all of that. Okay, so they saw it was wrong when these people are in power. They're using our kids for their, I mean, greed, more power. For what? You only here for a very short time. Why can't you make friends with people so that way you could travel very freely? My goodness, few allies. Okay, I'm finishing with that. I read this, but I'm seeing this on the side. Let's see here. This year, few allies Vladimir Putin is left with as well unites to condemn Ukraine atrocities. This is the thing that Palmer report was saying. To prevent all these kind of things to spread is to isolate him. Okay, Russian President Vladimir. This was not part of my tweet. Okay, I just saw it on the side and I'm adding it to here. All right, let's see here. The few allies Vladimir Putin is left with is will unite to condemn Ukraine atrocities. Okay, Russian President Vladimir Putin is facing international isolation after launching his brutal attack on Ukraine, costing the lives of thousands of civilians and soldiers. But what about his allies? Who's left? Okay, so that's something that needs to read. I'll do that on my own. Okay, it's a thread. Okay, let's see here. Okay, NATO members and the European Union have been providing weapons, military hardware, and humanitarian relief to Ukraine while sanctioning Russia, but a handful of countries have backed Putin. Okay, let's see here. Definitely, you see, oh damn, it's smaller than that. Okay, Myanmar, this is, of course, these are all those other countries. I've spoke about Myanmar. That's my husband's country. All right, took over power, killing civilian and stuff like that. Pakistan, and this is the thing that they're trying to prevent a world war. Okay, Brazil, I'm not surprised with the president that's there. I'm not surprised. Venezuela, I don't know much about that. Cuba, I don't know. Most likely, yeah, because it's a communist country, but I don't know. I don't think Cuba wants to get involved. Okay, Belarus, this, I'm not surprised. North Korea, like, duh. Okay, China, definitely. Okay, so I'm not surprised by most of them because of those who are in power. I'm surprised they didn't put UK in there because UK is playing both sides right now. Yesterday, the United Nations General Assembly voted to condemn the attack with unprecedented majority of 141 out of 193 member states, with 5 countries voting against. Okay, the resolution demands that Russia immediately, completely, and unconditionally withdraw all of its military forces from the territory of Ukraine within its international recognized borders. Wow. Okay. Okay, some world leaders, however, refuse, even though the UK and 37 allies nations refer atrocities in Ukraine to the International Criminal Court, and Boris Johnson accused the Russian president of war crime. He has to put a straight face, but he's playing, let me not say. The 5 that voted against were Belarus, North Korea, okay, Eritrea, Russia, and Syria, while 35 abstained. Some, like Belarus, have gone even further and pledged support to Mr. Putin's war, claiming it is West who provoked him. Nah, see, this is the thing here. They were looking, okay, at the beginning, all of that, all this nonsense Putin was doing was a way to give the West a reason to start something, but they ignore him. So he had no choice but to do what he was doing. I spoke about this in one of my videos, but nah, this is not true. If you were not paying attention, you will not. That's not true. Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko, whose government has become reliant on Russia for economic, political, and military support, has even hosted Russian forces and allowed them to use the country as a stage ground for the invasion. When everything is said and done, we're just seeing everything is en masse right now. Okay, but despite this and historical strong link with a number of European states, Putin has lost countless allies over the last week. Okay, Czech President Miloš Zeman and Hungary Prime Minister Viktor Orban, both known as pro-Russian voices in the European Union, have openly condemned his unprovoked act of aggression. These are the people you're supposed to be very careful with, because they could say one thing, you just never know. Okay, calling for harsh sanction last week. Okay, the Czech leader insists Russia has committed a crime against peace. Okay, full story here. All right, let's bookmark this. Okay, the way the West is misrepresenting this is itself is bizarre. China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other Asian countries refuse to condemn, and if they pull together with Russia, that is very powerful bloc. At those African countries, the world did not unite to condemn. Okay, who were the UK-US allies when we invade Iraq? Guatemala, Samoa Island, Dominica, etc. Okay, what about this? Alright, so I just saw this. This was not part of my thing to share with you, but it was on the side. Alright, let's put this. Where is... Okay, I'm already an hour now. Alright, let's do one more. If anything, I might cut some stuff out. I have one more tweet to share with you. Okay, this is Christopher Buzier. Sane and rational thinking people don't invade countries and threaten the rest of the world with nuclear weapons. If Ukraine falls, do you think Putin will stop there? That's me here. Responded. Whoa, 2 people like it and 1 retweet. He doesn't give a F. He'll burn everything to the ground, then drink a special Kool-Aid and go to sleep forever. When you have a bounty on your head, he's gonna do some shady thing to live with a bang. Sad but true. Alright, so there's me here with my thing a while back. The storm is coming. Okay, no, he will not. He's threatened Sweden and Finland invade Sweden airspace to test. Okay, that's the thing here. He's provoking people to try to do something, to give a reason to defend himself, but they're not giving him any reason to start anything. How far he can go before they show up, he needs to be dealt with by the world. We can't wait until Ukraine falls. It will be catastrophic. This man is dangerous to the world and they better treat him so. And this is what the Palmer report was saying. They'd rather contain the war. Think about it. If you already know something is gonna be destroyed, so you might as well let it be at one place, okay, instead of spreading it around. So that Palmer report thread that I just read is the answer to that. Okay, absolutely not. And I think some other countries, possibly China and North Korea, will join him depending on how successful he is. And I think China is playing a very fine line right now, depending on who's winning. Who's the tilt of power is shifting. Right now, China is trying to stay out of it because right now, China is trying to grow its economic. And they do business with all of those countries. So if they push come to shove, and at the end of this war, they're probably going to isolate China. So I don't think China wants to play that. Okay? So right now, China is playing a very fine game. And I don't blame them either. I don't blame China either, as sad as it may be, because you have to have a goal for your own. If somebody is going down, you don't want to go down with them, okay? And especially at false pretense and stupidity, okay? He's already threatened Sweden and Finland, so he's definitely not planning to stop, okay? Ronald Reagan invaded Afghanistan, Bush invaded Iraq, Obama invaded Syria. Well, that was the defense of some stuff that was going on in Iraq, and most of us didn't support that either. That is true. Putin needs to be dealt with swiftly. Okay, giving the chance. No, he will keep coming down on Europe and hit the USA, not necessarily in this order. Yeah, this is why we need to keep on voting. Those Republicans, they're aiming for certain things like that. If he is successful, there is a pot of gold waiting for these people. This is what they're betting our lives on. Okay, it's bigger than that. In order for them to cash in, they have to do these kind of things, and then our freedom is being sold to the highest bidder. All right, and many of them have already sold it. And we saw what happened when is it 2018 or something like that, where those Republicans went to Russia. Okay, for what? I don't know. All right, let me move on. But it will not stop there. All right, if give the Republican a chance, they're gonna turn a blind eye of what's going on and things like that. All right, next tweet. I would like to inform you all that gas prices are soaring in Ireland and Biden is not the president there. It's almost as if the president doesn't control gas prices and they are being affected by Russia waging war. Okay, let's see here. How could the war in Ukraine hit your pocket? This is, I think, the reason I bookmarked this is that sometimes we have to make certain sacrifices. Okay, the thing that's going on right now, we don't make certain sacrifice, it will be worse. Okay, we just have to suck it up and do the right thing as a country, as a nation, everywhere, globally, do the right thing, sacrifice. All right, I think that was the main reason I bookmarked this. I'm not gonna read anymore. I'm already an hour and 1 and 6 seconds. Let's do a prayer. Prayer for what? Prayer, let's say for let's say world peace. Okay, world peace. What comes up? From fear to trust, let peace fill our hearts, our world, and our universe. Let us dream together, pray together, and work together to build one world of peace and justice for all. That's pretty good. Let's pick an image for that. Let's do this one. Okay, a prayer for world peace in the world. Lord, we pray for the power to be gentle, the strength to be forgiving, the patience to be understanding, and the endurance to accept the consequences of holding to what we believe to be right. That is true. May we put our trust in the power of good to overcome evil and the power of love to overcome hatred. We pray for the vision to see and the faith to believe in a world emancipated from violence. A new world where fear shall no longer lead men to commit injustice nor selfishness make them bring suffering to others. Help us to devote our whole life and thought and energy to the task of making peace, praying always for the inspiration and the power to fulfill the destiny for which we and all men are created. That's a good one. I'm gonna stop it as that. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. You could donate or just watch the commercials. Thank you for your support. That's it.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
Go,
I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better